In this tutorial, we'll be learning about attributes and properties. What are they? They're different. Yes, they are different because in the next line you can see there's something called property attribute synchronization. And then we'll talk about non-standard attributes. Let's look at this in detail. So whenever a HTML document is as such rendered on your browser, all the HTML tags and stuff are converted into DOM objects. Okay. So for example, let's take this input tag with two attributes, that is class equal to my class and type equal to text. Okay. So whatever is written in the HTML is called attributes. Okay. What you refer to a property is what is stored in a DOM object or an object which is created when the document is rendered. So is an attribute property mapping one-on-one? No, it's not one-on-one. So we'll look into more details about this. Watch the video till the end to gain the maximum knowledge. So this mapping which is there here is how the objects are inherited as such. So for example, in the previous one we had seen HTML input tag, and the HTML is converted to a DOM object. The object is made from this particular class, which is the HTML input element class. Okay. So and then this actually inherits from the HTML element, and the HTML element inherits from the element and then the node and even the event target. So all the properties which are which are there in the node, like child nodes, that's one example, right, which we had seen in the previous tutorial also. So all those are also inherited to the object that is created for the HTML input element. So you have some element properties like previous element sibling or previous child, stuff like that. So all these are applicable for even this also because it is inherited from that. Okay, so that's why I wanted to show you this. So now let's go and look at what are DOM properties. See, they behave just like JavaScript objects. What do you mean by they behave just like JavaScript objects? So you can alter them, you can add your own properties, and you can add your own methods. Okay, so it's just like JavaScript objects. Okay. So if you remember in the class, when we made a variable inside the class, we called it a property. You can see it in the class videos also. Right, that's what it is. It can have any value. It need not be only a string or only something like that. It can be a number, it can be a boolean value. So we have seen the 8 types of data types as such which the JavaScript facilitates, right? Is it case sensitive? Yes, it is case sensitive. Okay. So let's take an example to see that. Okay, you have element.node value, right, and not element.node d value, whatever. So these two, you can say this is the perfect one and this you can't have it in this manner, right? It will give an error if you do something of this sort. Okay, that's what you mean by case sensitivity. So now let's go and look at what are HTML attributes. So basically tags in the HTML have attributes. Okay, so when we had the input tag, we had a class which is equal to my class, and we had a type which is equal to submit, right? So this type equal to submit is one attribute. Class equal to my class is a attribute. I have already said that HTML, whenever the browser renders it, it is turned into, all the tags are as such turned into DOM objects. So only standard attributes are converted to DOM properties. Those which are not standard are not converted to DOM properties. So for example, here you have type equal to text. So this type is a standard attribute, and something equal to XYZ is a non-standard attribute. We will look at them in more detail in the next few slides. Okay, what I want to convey here is that, so type equal to text is a standard attribute. So how can you access this standard attribute as a DOM property? So it's made into an object, right? So you can, so you have maybe stored this in a object, so you got it by using the query selector or get element by ID, something like that. You have got this, okay, and then into an variable called element or an object called element. So when you modify it, for example, you can modify it by using lm.type equal to blah blah blah, or you can console.log lm.type. So that's how you can actually use it. When you do maybe console.log lm.something, you will actually see that it will come undefined. Okay, even though you can't access it in that manner, but you have written it, right? So it is to be stored somewhere. So how can you access it? So we can access it by using these properties here. So these properties are lm. Has attribute and the name of the attribute. So something was the name of the attribute in the previous part, right? And then you have lm.get attribute name. So you can give the name and you'll get the attribute's name. Has basically gives truth value or the false value. Okay, get attribute gives the value of the whatever is stored in the that key, whatever you're giving here. And then when you want to set the attribute, so you can do lm.set attribute. You want to maybe change the something to maybe some ABC. That's what you can do here, and you can remove a particular attribute. So this is how you can actually access them. So but the modification is done to HTML. Name case sensitive? No, it is not case sensitive. Values are always strings for attributes. So when you, in the example that we took, input tag example that we had taken little previously, you saw that the class equal to, you put my class in the strings, so it's always a string. So now let us look at the property attribute synchronization. Sometimes when you modify the attribute, the corresponding property also changes, and the same happens when you modify the property, the attribute also changes. But in some cases it doesn't happen. So let's look at those cases and let's go into depth about it. So here I have a document which is dom1.html, and have connected it to our JavaScript file which is dom1.js. Okay. And then here I have a h1 tag and a div and two li's inside it, a paragraph and two a tags. Okay, so now let's just meddle with this. I've created an lm which is using the query selector. I have got the li there. Okay, so you will get only the first li. So I have console.logged it out. You get the first li. So let us see. Oh, you got the first li, right? So I was talking about that something, right? So let me just put something here. Okay, and let's put equal to some xyz. Let's do that. I'm saving it, and I'm saving it here also, and let's see what happens. So you got something equal to xyz here, right? So now if I do lm dot something, what do you expect the answer to be? Okay, it's undefined, okay, because it's a property. But okay, I've put something, so something, sorry. So if you do lm dot and something, what do you expect? You expect undefined, because here you are accessing it as a DOM property and it's a non-standard attribute, as I've told previously. But if you do lm dot name, now see what happens. That is standard property. It is also not a standard property. Okay, but in case I given something like id, it's given an id called id here, and then now let me just do lm dot id. The name may be a standard attribute for some particular tags, but it may not be standard attribute for all the tags. So id isn't standard attribute, so that's why you're getting id here, right? So now how can we access this? We have also seen how to access it. So you can just do get attribute. You can do get attribute, and then you can give in the name. So let's give in something here. So you got xyz. You have to give it as a string here, parameter. So even if I do lm dot name, you will get the same thing. You will get I am li. But when we did lm dot name, it didn't give. So now let's try it out with id also. Before we go ahead, does this give properly? Yes, it will give properly, because it's an attribute and a property. Okay, attribute because in the HTML you have it here. That's why it's an attribute. And it is also a standard attribute, hence into a property also. So now let me show you if I change this. Okay, so let me do set attribute. Okay, I'll do it outside actually. So let's meddle around with this. Okay, so I'm just going to copy this here and do. So now I'm going to do lm dot id equal to. I'm going to change the property basically. So let me do, it was previously as id, so let me do my id. So now let us see what happens here. The property as such changed to my id. Okay, so even if you do id in this place, so you'll get it as my id. So now say instead of this, I'm going to change this by using this. Okay, so I'm going to do set here. I'm going to do set. So lm dot set attribute id, comma, let me do my id. So let's save this. Look at what happens. So if you change the attribute or if you change the property, you're going to get the same value. So it's going to be reflected both the ways. Alright. So, but say we try it out with some non-standard attribute. So let's try it out with name, and I'll change it to my name. It was I am li somewhere there. Okay, and I'll call this, this will actually give me undefined, right? Anyway, so see, it gives me undefined. There are some exclusions as such where we try to do this, it doesn't work, okay, even for the standard attribute. So this works only for the standard attribute, but still it may not work always. So let us given input here. Okay, I'm going to give that input tag, and let's give it a type of maybe text box, text basically. So let's give it a value. Let's equate the value to maybe ABC. So now let me get this element, input element here. So I'll just make it input. So now let us set the attribute value is there to my value, and then let us see what happens. See, it's changing. So when you do this set attribute, it is changing to. So you can see that this is working and it is changing like just like normal things. So say now instead of this, I do get attribute value here, and here I just comment this out and do lm dot value equal to, so maybe again my value, something like that. It doesn't matter. See, it remains AB. So that means you have changed the property in the object. You have changed the property in the object, okay, but it is not getting reflected on the HTML. Changing the attribute value updates the property, but changing the property value doesn't update the attribute. Okay, so this feature actually comes very handy because the user actions may lead to value changes many times, and then after that if you want to recover the original thing, this is helpful. So these exclusions are made in only in those cases, which helps you finally. So here we have the A tag, right? So I'll show you something which is very nice. So I'll get the A tag and store it in the element. So get the object here, and then let me just do console.log A just for the sake of it. So not A. So now let me just do console.log lm. So you see that you get hash.pdf. So now if I do lm.href, let's see what happens. So you get some huge thing here. So basically you get the full location. But if I do it this way and I put in here href, so let us see what happens. You get hash. That is exactly what you wrote in the HTML. So this I guess would clear all your doubts with respect to get attributes and the properties. So now let's go back to the slides and see one more important concept. We have seen some amount of non-standard attributes as such, but let's go into little more detail as to why we need non-standard attributes and why it came about. Because see, we want to always try kind of put our own thing, like we put something equal to XYZ there. So these are basically custom attributes that you created, which is not there. Is it going to create some problem for us? Actually, yes, it can create some problem for us. And what is the problem that is going to create for us? Sometimes we may have some non-standard attributes which may use to pass some custom data, right, to Java, from HTML to JavaScript. So but in the future maybe that may become a real become a standard attribute, and that will cause a lot of problems when you actually use the latest HTML and the version changes and stuff like that. So that is one of the problem. So is there a solution for that? Yes, there is a solution for that. So to avoid all the conflicts, there exists a data dash star attributes. So all attributes starting with data are reserved for programmers use. Okay. They are available in the dataset property. Let's say I go back to the HTML and do, instead of this, data hash something. How do I access it here? So let me just change this back to li, and I do data hash something. You will get whatever was there, the something tag here, which was XYZ, right? Something happened. So if you want to use it directly as a property, that's also possible. So you have to use a camel notation or the camel cased format. So data set, you have to use data set, and then you have to do dot something. So if I refresh it, you see that you got X. If you don't have the data here, think that then it will come undefined here, that we had seen previously. So let's see that also for the sake of it. So now it will not give us an, now it will give undefined, right? But when we had this data, we don't get that. So let's do one more thing here. So say you have two words here, some thing. How do you access this? Maybe it's required in some cases, but how do you access this? So you have to change this. So if you have two words, you have to change the word like this. So you have to make it camel cased. You will get the same. Get XY. It's, if you put some dash thing, it won't work because it's with respect to JavaScript. You have to change it in that manner. If you watched the video till here and if you learned something useful from this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you have not already subscribed, and don't forget to put a like. Please like the video, yeah, if you got some good content from this. Okay? And now you just click on the video which is there right on top here to go to the next video and continue watching the series. Just click here. Don't forget to do that.